What's up, guys? It's Matt from RC Overload, and I will be honest, I am extremely tired right now. You know, you just sometimes have one of those nights where you only get a couple hours of sleep no matter what you try to do. Yep, and then had to go to work, and now, well, now at my second job. This! By the way, you guys, for some of you that don't know, I actually just started working at my local hobby store. Yes, I get to play with RC cars, trains, models, and stuff like that all day long. It's a part-time gig. The other time I'm doing this. So, gotta pay the bills still. YouTube doesn't pay that much. Really doesn't. So, I figured today we would start the Sakura D4 build. As you guys can see, I kind of have some stuff laid out here. I am planning on taking the camera here, doing a lot closer up, step by step, of assembling this entire car for you guys. Some of you guys have made requests to see the actual steps involved in that. Perfectly fine. I have no problem doing that. I actually kind of like doing that because, like I said in the last video, it's helpful. So, I've got my coffee. I am still tired, and I'm going to try to do the best I can at showing you guys how to install the front and rear control arms on this. And then we're probably going to stop for about a week, honestly, because I have a Baja build update I got to get you guys. I got like 3 other videos I still got to film, and a couple other things I got to do, and then I can actually start playing catch up with the Sakura D4 build and the Pro 2 build. So, just wanted to get it started because I was antsy. I really was. So, I wanted to get it going. That's it. Let's just get the camera up here. Woo! Okay, so as you guys can see, we have the carbon fiber chassis. We have our rear and front control arms, and today I am showing you how to assemble this. And to keep it entertaining, I have agreed that I will be making little humor, some jokes, and whatnot. Kind of like, look, shaft is going into some pink. Get to slide the shaft into the pink. I'm having a hard time doing that. So, you guys will hear me reference stuff like that just to keep it entertaining. Now, let's get right into this. Okay, so, as you guys know, I have an upgraded carbon fiber chassis, right? Ooh, shiny. This is our old chassis, which is a plastic chassis. Nothing fancy about it. It is actually pretty sturdy. Probably just as sturdy as the carbon fiber, but this has a much cooler look to it. So, one of the things when I was partially assembling, as you guys can see, I've already put one side on. I wanted to do that so I knew how to assemble this and provide the information I needed for you guys. One of the things I ran into when looking at this, if you can tell, it's kind of hard to say really what is the front and rear without looking at the instructions manual. Well, I'm going to give you guys a tip. These screw holes right here indicate your front, so it's going to point towards the front of the car. Match that up with the carbon fiber. Those screw holes go towards the front, okay? Just wanted to clarify that with all of you. Don't need this. And first step is we got to put together this passenger side control arm, because we do have the aluminum control arms. We aren't using the plastic ones. You will notice if you have aluminum control arms, come on, focus, that they have these plastic little cups that slide in and out. Do not lose them. You will need them, okay? So, first things first, we got to take our little pivot ball holder for the arm. Okay, that's what I'm going to call it. Deal with it. And you're going to slide it in. Okay, kind of like so. Screw it. You can stay right there. We need to take one of our screws. As you guys can see, I've kind of placed things into place on here as far as where they're going on the control arm. So, like I said, we're going to slide this in as far as we can. We're going to go down into that hole, put our screw, And we are going to tighten it down. Yes, I'm using hand tools. Oh well. Now, oh, come on. Okay, so that's almost tight. Now, this one wasn't as, this one's tighter than it was on this one, so hold on. Okay, so I just had to give it a good couple of whacks. It is a tight fit to get that to sit flush in there. Okay, so give it a couple of tight, a couple of whacks, a little hammer, or just hitting it on the table a couple of times, and that worked for me. Alright, next, we have to put in a little tiny set screw, if you guys can see it, and a little pivot ball. Right? Because this is actually where the front shocks are going to get attached to. So, on the front, what's cool, we're going to be doing this on the inner hole, okay? And this does have a stop in there. So what I'm actually going to do first, if, excuse me, pardon me, coming through. Grab our little set screw. Because we are doing aluminum, I do have some blue Loctite. We're just going to rotate that around a little bit on there. Don't need a whole bunch, just a little bit. And we're just going to screw that right on in. And because there's still a little bit of blue Loctite on there, just going to take our little pivot ball, screw it down until it gets tight. Good to go. Next, be installing another set screw into the control arm right up here. This one I am not putting Loctite on right away. Why is that? Because this is actually my ride height set screw. So I'm going to put that in, just enough so it's sticking out just a little bit on the underside. Again, this is going to get readjusted later on. So now comes the time where we got to slide, like I was saying, the shiny shaft into the pink aluminum control arm. And don't forget your little pink washers that you got to put on your shaft. You don't want to forget those. That way it takes up the space. Okay? And now this comes to be a little bit of a tricky situation. Okay. Now, if you guys look here, let me pause this. You have a mount in the front and you have a mount in the rear, right? What I found is before putting this control arm on, because it actually shows in the picture to have everything all together like this and then put it on the chassis and tighten the screws afterwards, I found that if you put this brace on here first, tighten it down, then put your control arm in with the shaft, and then put your other end of the holder down on it, then tighten this one down, it all stays in one place. Okay, so that's how I found out how to do it to make it a little bit easier. So kind of show you exactly what I'm talking about. By the way, if you guys can kind of see, there's like a metal tab. There is a metal tab that goes underneath these. These are our little spacers to kind of raise it up a little bit. They kind of look like these. Okay. You will need to put those in, except I am putting that in afterwards. Okay. So, like I was saying, I just kind of put it all together just like so. What I'm doing now is putting the screws in, and I'm only going to tighten them down a little ways. Okay, just kind of getting them started a little bit. And we're going to push that up to make a little bit of a gap under here, correct? And then we got to take our little metal spacer and put it in. Now they do say, recommend showing on the picture that the tab sticks outwards. Now this probably has to do so it doesn't interfere with anything. As you can see, it just kind of slides in, push down, and now we can go ahead and tighten up our screws on the underside here. And there you go. You now have your front control arms in. Now it's onto the back, which is honestly almost exactly the same. Maybe not as many steps as this. So let's grab our rear control arm. Now we have a set screw as well for the rears. Again, I'm not putting Loctite on this one. I'm only going to go a little bit. Just enough until it kind of sticks out a little bit on the underside. You guys can kind of see that. Okay. Again, this will all get readjusted after everything's put together on this chassis. I'm not the least bit concerned. But something I do want to mention with you guys. Okay. Now this one, hold on, I'm just putting a little Loctite right there. Now, on the rears, okay, on these holes, because it's going to be a little bit tricky to get the bottom shock holder in place here, because in these screws they go all the way through. So you can't just put the set screw in and then set it, because as soon as you put that other ball end back on, it's just going to keep screwing into this and not holding. So here is what I recommend. Grab your ball end with this. Go about halfway. Yes, you're going to get your fingers a little dirty. Oh well. Now, grab your screwdriver. There we go. And put it into the set screw, kind of like so. Now, I have already done it to this one. You are doing it to the second hole in from the outside. So, second hole in from the outside. And we're just going to twist. And voila, you're done. If there's any extra blue Loctite, again, I'm sorry that this is not focusing. If there's any extra blue Loctite, just wipe it off with a rag, okay? Or your fingers, whatever works. So now we get to pretty much assemble, like I had said in the front here, doing one at a time. I will show you guys what I mean by that. If you notice on the back of these, they are labeled, right? So it does make it easy to identify what's rear and what's front, okay? On the chassis, there's 2 screw holes and 2 smaller holes, right? On this piece, there's 2 plastic nubs. Kind of see what I'm talking about? It lines up. Okay, so just gonna put that in place first. Okay. Put our set screws in again, only half, just so it starts. And then on these tabs, right? Because this is the bigger one. There's one for the front and rear. Again, you're just going to take it and you're going to slide it in place. Use a little screwdriver to push it in if you have to. Okay, so it kind of sits like that. Now we're just going to tighten this one down. Ooh, just had a dyslexic moment. Okay. Grab our shaft. Now if you guys notice on this one, it has little retainers on the inside, but it does not matter because they don't pop out. I'm going to put our shaft through. Again, our little pink washers we have to put on our shiny shaft. The shaft. Okay. And we're going to get it started. Putting it in like so. See how I'm doing it? We're going to grab our other end piece, line it up with the shaft, put it in. Now we're going to go to the... Oh no! I didn't hold it right. Ah! There we go. Now we're going to put the screws in. Okay guys, so I did finish putting on the front and rear. Also, I do want you guys to know that the kit does come with a couple of extra back pieces so you can adjust the control arm angle. This one is a looks like maybe a positive 10, right? So it's actually more narrow in here, which actually will make these more straight on than at an angle pointing inwards. Need some more coffee. So that's that. Control arms are in. This is pretty basic. Next step, we're going to be putting in the bulkheads and getting the mount up for the tensioner and the engine mount, okay? So, but we're going to take a little break because like I had mentioned earlier, we have a lot of other videos we got to do, and then we can kind of get back in onto this one. I just wanted to get it going, kind of get an idea as far as what we're going to be looking at here. It's going to be pretty sweet. So, alright, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions about what I did, if I didn't make sense at any given time, please let me know. I will try to explain it out as best I can in the comments. Hopefully this made sense to you. Again, this is my first, I'm just starting to get back into doing builds on camera, so I'm trying to remember how to provide you guys with the most amount of information. So, that's it. Anyways, thanks so much, guys, for watching today. If you liked the video, please click like. Don't forget to subscribe for more. There's going to be a lot more of this build. Hopefully it'll be informational for all you guys and you can see everything that's going on. And I think that'll do it. So, till next time, guys, I will see you on the next RC Overload. See you later.